Welcome to The Block. Writer's Block. My fictional fiction stemming from the idea that print is dead. This is a story about a novelist, 2 poets, a songwriter, a memoir writer, and a fiction writer who live in a world where there are no more books. People just started burning them one day and never stopped. And besides, you can just read things on the internet now. So they have to find other things to write and make sure they can make a living at it, since there aren't any more publishers that can give them large advances to buy things like homes and groceries. Instead, they write what they can, whenever they can, and they meet each week to read a book together from the long-forgotten printed past. Books still exist. People just hoard them in their homes and make sure to keep things like lighter fluid and matches away from them. Last week, an elementary school student in Brooklyn found his mother's 1989 paperback copy of Ayn Rand's The Fountainhead and was caught trying to use it as a hose attachment to water the flowers in his backyard. Neighbors alerted the police when they saw his mother using a hairdryer to peel the pages off their backyard fence. They thought the risk of electrocution would bring danger to the child. Brooklyn has the highest per capita in-home family collections of books in the world. But this isn't Brooklyn. As soon as Gina gets here, we can read over the first chapter. I thought Gina wasn't going to make it tonight. She's here for Sophie's Choice, but Travels with Charlie is too deep for her. Give me a break. Maybe we could use this time to talk about publishing. I just got a great deal from Pepsi. Bling! Sorry I'm late. I had to get the illustrations for the anime Supergirl book to the printer. Bling! Hey, Gina. Gina, thanks so much for the help with the lyric. It's so much better now. Sure. I don't mean to be bossy, but we really need to get into this book if we're going to get to everyone's work this week. Did everyone get through the pages? Finished the same night, just before poker. Dax, no day job talk, remember? Hey, the golden nugget pays my rent. Bling! I'm going to say golden nugget as much as I want. People, just because you can make a living writing your novel or story or whatever, doesn't mean that you... We need to review this book so I can let the Gates Foundation know if they should pull a print from the vaults and put it back into circulation. 10 years later, and I'm still boggled by the fact that Microsoft saved literature. Bling! It was Gates, not Microsoft. Bling! If Microsoft sold junk, I'd buy it if I had the room. Well, I liked it, other than Steinbeck's opinion about everything being packaged in America. Without packaging, no one would know the difference between a Coke and a Pepsi. Bling, bling. Ted, you work for Pepsi. I work in advertising. Gina, how'd your date go last night? Teen angel, teen angel. You think East Coast, West Coast would get that? Okay, can we please stop talking about Coke, Pepsi, Microsoft, and the Golden Nugget Casino in Las Vegas? Bling, 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 for just one moment and talk about Steinbeck? Jill, shut up. Just because I am the acting facilitator doesn't give you the permission to just trample all over me. So you get the idea. There's a bunch of characters, they're writers, they bicker, they fight, they talk about writing or about everything else, and in between there are references to the novel they are discussing, as well as advertisers that are written into the script. Yeah, it does exactly what Steinbeck described. This is where chaos ensues. You've hopefully been watching the show long enough to know that Gina meets Ted in the back for a quickie, Dax keeps calling his bookie at the Golden Nugget, and things explode into a big mess. Cut to later. Print is dead. I think that line is better. And it'll be great for the feminine hygiene spot. Oh, just call it a Tampax. Bling! Actually, Dax, it's a tampon. Adam, did you finish your crossword? I still need a 4-letter word that starts with X. They're trying to do an X-Files tie-in. Bling! It's driving me insane. I can't finish my poem. What'd I miss? Hi, Gina. Well, I have another chapter of my memoir done and posted on my blog, mymemoryfailsme.wordpress.com. Guess now's a good time as any. We had leftover swag from the 7-Eleven campaign if anybody wants some. I didn't get to my work this week. Ted, you and Adam sure have been sidetracked by your poetry lately. Do you guys need any help? I think you do. You both need to learn to ask for help. Why else are you coming to this writers group? My stuff's done. You can all check out my new flash piece. I think I'm gonna try a trailer after this week's reading. And a dog named Charlie. I never really realized this, but until now, I am in love with Montana, too. And there it is. The characters are writers. They're sitting around having a nice conversation about life, love, writing in the American way, all through the lens of this week's classic, John Steinbeck's Travels with Charlie. Which might be so cryptic that no one will ever get the references, but they'll for some reason, hopefully, have the feeling they want to drive a trailer to Montana, which they now love, stopping at a 7-Eleven along the way to pick up a Pepsi, finish that, and stop again for a Coke. And then buy Microsoft products. And if they visit the websites of the show's authors, they'll be able to download the current week's work, released the same night as the episodes. How exciting!